Hey everyone, welcome to a special edition of Video Game Collectors Podcast. This is going to be in remembrance of our good friend Dan Kaplan, who unfortunately has moved on and passed away apparently on July 31st. Dan was a huge part of this show without even being a part of this show. Behind closed doors and behind the scenes, even though he's never on video, he was definitely a big part of this show. Always putting his influence in, his thoughts, always supporting us, being one of our biggest contributors, for sure, financially, just supporting us and whatnot. Uh, Josh, we got the news, what, about last year?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I don't know if it was last year or when it was, but it's been a little while. No, we've known Dan's been struggling. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah, I'm just devastated. It's just the fucking worst. So
yeah. Yeah, he had gotten, I don't know what stage he was at that point, but found out that he had colon cancer about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer. He had let some close friends know, but he didn't want anybody saying anything. So obviously we had to keep some tight lips on it and just, pray for him and wish him and his family the best throughout it. He put up a good fight for quite a while and spent all of his time with his family. And props to his company that he worked for. They paid for everything, all of his time off, all of everything. He said it literally had been amazing on their end. And we had kept into communication probably about a month before he passed. And we I had shared with Josh a few times that I knew he wasn't doing well uh, about 2 months ago, just based on some of the text messages he was sending me without sharing too much information. And I just knew that things weren't good. We attempted our best to between last year when we found out and now about I'd say about 6 months ago, we did our best to try and get him legitimately on the show. But unfortunately, I think chemo was taking its toll on him, and he honestly didn't have the bandwidth or the energy to do
yeah.
so, which is really unfortunate. I had this great shirt all ready for the Dan Kaplan episode. I was so excited to share it with everybody. Unfortunately, I did not expect to be wearing it in this case. So what we wanted to do in honor of Dan is, well, honor him on our show for now and forever. And then he has a lot of auction items. We knew about them in Signature, but he didn't want us to sit here and pump them or anything in his name. Well, he's not here to argue with us, so
We're gonna pump
we're gonna break all the rules today, and we're gonna pump all of his listings on Heritage Signatures. He had some listings in the weekly a couple weeks back, but he's got quite a few listings in the signatures, and we're going to pump the crap out of them, and also be bidding on some of these things because all the money is going to go to his family, um,
Yep.
obviously, and then we'll share a little segment at the end for Dan, and then yeah,
We encourage you to go bid on these items. So
yep.
uh it's,
You ready to hop into it?
yeah, I think so.
All right, let's get going.
We'll um we'll do our best to continue to make fun of him though. So because that's what he would want.
Yes, and yes.
Okay.
And it's an honor of him. It's not obviously,
No, no.
to
Dan
make
was our good.
to make fun of him.
Right.
Uh, but he did leave me with a few jokes that I will be sharing with you guys in the future. So, all right. First up,
Well,
these artists
first and foremost, Matt, the signature auction begins what day? Here. We got 2 days left. So this takes off, I believe, on Friday.
Friday.
Taken.
Yeah.
Friday, I think they usually start them around 1 o'clock Pacific time. I'm not
Yeah, it's like
certain
one
on
or two. I forget. Maybe.
that. Don't wait for that. Go bid now. But we just want to share each and every item there is, and really promote these items and hope they get the most money as possible.
Yes.
Um, yeah. And we've gone over these, I believe last week we kind of touched on them. We wanted to push them out there, like Matt said, but not specifically say them. But today we are. These are Dan Kaplan's items, and like Matt said, the money's going to the family. So
Yes. And Dan was a big Super Nintendo guy. That seemed to be his go-to. And so a lot of these are just going to be Super Nintendo. It's really
well,
heartbreaking to see him. I knew it was bad when he was listing some of his games, uh, in SIGs.
yeah, a
Um,
lot of these were mini games that I didn't ever really foresee games and items. I didn't foresee him selling, you
yeah,
know, at one point. So it's I've purchased some games out of the weeklies that I've known are his, and I anticipate, you know, just to hold on to a lot of those. So I just a nice piece to keep. So, anyways, without further ado, we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters with the WADA 92A plus. It's factory sealed. And I think we touched on this last week, but this game, like its counterparts, is very hard to find. The NES version, the Genesis version, and then this version. They all have unique cover art. So I think it's one of the four turtles on each one. And we got Donatello on this sucker. Cool game, tough to find. 460 bucks. It's Ninja Turtles. There are less of these probably than graded Ninja Turtle comic books in high grade that sell for a lot more than this. So I think people need to put a lot of that in perspective. That many of the turtle games just factory sealed are very tough to find, and rightfully so. You know, everybody opened them, everybody played them.
I just
The
wanted to
Genesis and Super Nintendo versions are going to be the better versions to play outside of the Nintendo version as well, the NES version, or as Matt calls it, the NES version.
I just wanted to see if they added Dan Kaplan in here anywhere, but I don't think they did. So,
No, I don't think so. So, yep,
all right.
tournament fighters, go get it. 575.
Yeah, we're not saying bid on everything or anything like that. I'm just saying if
Well,
you see
I'm
something,
specifically saying get off your ass and go buy this shit or bid on it. So
if you guys see something that, sparks your fancy,
yeah.
just know
And
it's going somewhere to remember somebody's legacy, and even you can bookmark that in your collection.
yeah, and
It's
these are good prices right now. This is a very fair price on this game.
yeah.
We could pull up comps, but I know that this is cleared $1,000+ in the past.
Right. Super Mario RPG
Yeah,
9.0 A plus.
I don't think people quite understand how hard it is to get this game in high grade. Also, this is a made in Japan version, Matt. I don't know if you care to go over the WADA population report.
Yeah,
Pull
I
this up.
can. I do have it pulled up.
Yeah.
SNES.
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 SNES. Snake. Super Mario RPG. Oh, you just RPG'd it. Okay, so
Yeah,
there are two variants on this thing. Check that out.
I talented.
Yeah. Um,
Made in Mexico
Made
is
in
the rare one.
Japan, made in Mexico. So this is kind of one of those games that had that cross-pollination effect of, yeah, we made them mostly in Japan, but then we also made them in Mexico. So this is made in Japan. This would be considered a first print of the game, as far as I'm concerned. And there just aren't a lot of these sealed either. So 42 of the made in Japan and two of the made in Mexico on WADA's population report. Not sure if that's been updated to reflect new games or items removed, maybe possibly across the CGC. So nice game, super popular. And there you have it, $825. This
Fun
is,
fact. Fun
oh,
fact, Josh.
what?
Fun fact. Cross-pollination in Clatsop County here happens in Napa.
What?
You said cross-pollination
Of what it happens in Clatsop County, where?
in Napa.
Napa? Why
Napa,
Napa?
Napa, Oregon, because that's where cross-pollination happens.
Oh, is that amongst cousins?
Cousins, family, friends.
Shit. Son of a bitch, Matt. Um, I'm not surprised being up there on the western echelons of the Oregon coast. I don't know. The Oregon coast is an interesting beast. I love it to death, but most of the smart people, when they were on the Oregon Trail, they stopped in the Willamette Valley, and the crazy people, they just kept going, and they realized when they got to the ocean, they couldn't go any farther, so they stopped, and that's why you got these little podunk towns like Seaside, Oregon, and Tillamook, and all these places where Matt's brethren live. So,
All right,
sorry,
next game.
I had enough of the Oregon coast the last 3 days. So, Matt, there we go.
Hit the ice. 9.6 A plus. It's sitting at 275 with buyer's premium for those listening. I apologize if I'm not saying prices. On that Super Mario RPG, it was about 825.
God
Thousand.
damn. Mm.
Thousand with BP right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get this one. Tough to get high grade, tough to get sealed. Taito era release of games that came out. What year does this say on the box? 93. So think about games that are coming out in 93 released by this company. Uh, they're really hard to find. So Hit the Ice was also supposed to be a Super Nintendo game, or it is a Super Nintendo game. Also supposed to be a regular Nintendo game, got canceled. Also released on the Game Boy. Really tough to find complete in box on Game Boy. Tough to find a high grade on this. This game was printed one time. You didn't get multiple prints. It's a fun hockey game. I mean, which hockey game really isn't fun because most of them are just awesome. And it's a perfect game from a Dan Kaplan collection because let's face it, he was in Canada. I love hockey. Great game, great Taito game. Don't miss it.
I've never played it.
Yeah.
I have played this.
Oh
Doom
man.
9.8 A plus plus for the Super Nintendo. It is sitting at 718 with buyer's premium. It is a 9.8 A plus plus.
Yep. Yeah, and that's a nice grade, right? So
Yeah,
Doom on Super Nintendo, red cartridge, not shitty Maximum Carnage. Awesome Doom. While it might not be the PC version of Doom, which fucking rules, this is a good version of Doom. Playable on the Super Nintendo, and you can cycle the guns really easy with the R and L. Cool game. I remember when my friends they had it. My friend, his name was Matt. Growing up, he had it on computer, and that's where I first played Doom. And then I had a buddy named Mike who got the Super Nintendo version. And up until that point, I had never seen a different color Super Nintendo cartridge. Because yeah, Killer Instinct wasn't out yet. So
yeah.
is this the first colored Super Nintendo cartridge? I'm not sure. And maybe Maximum Carnage came out before, but this cartridge is red and it's awesome. And the first time I saw it in a Super Nintendo, I was like, holy shit, you have Doom on Super Nintendo? And not the best port, but not bad. Like easily playable. You can play through it. A great introduction for people who had never played Doom before in their life to play it on a console. Um, 9.8 A plus plus, killer grade,
Go buy
killer
it.
game. I had a prototype at this one point and I sold it to some Doom collectors. God, I love this game. And
Uh,
I don't have a Super Nintendo copy of this, so I'm gonna go to town on this bitch too.
the first uh colored game outside of, the standard grayish cart I can think of or remember would have been like RoboCop or Terminator, right?
RoboCop versus Terminator?
No. Was it RoboCop versus Terminator?
Yeah, that is a gray cartridge, but it's in a
The
rigid black
black
box.
case.
That's a
Uh,
piece of shit Super Nintendo box that
I was thinking that was a black. Okay.
sits on a tray of a
Yeah.
box.
Yeah.
And fun fact, The manual in that game was folded in half to put inside that box because it wouldn't lay flat inside. So if you ever find a flat RoboCop versus Terminator manual, this is a weird tangent. It was some new old stock thing that never got put with the game. Just so you know. So,
Okay. Woo. This is on day two.
are you
Uh,
fucking kidding me?
no, this is this obviously
Jesus.
was this yellow screen. Oh, it's Canadian version. That's why. Never mind. Dang it, Dan. Why do you got a Canadian version Game Boy?
Regardless, it's a VGA 90.
Yeah.
This has Curtis written all over it, so I hope he gets it.
Yeah, Curtis, you better be watching this and bid this. It's right now it's sitting at 750 with BP. Canadian Game Boy. VGA 90. Go get it.
Yeah, if you don't know who Curtis is, look up Maximus Clean on Instagram.
I'm hoping to get him on the podcast. I think
It would
he's
be
looking to,
it'd be great to have that guy, he'd be gag, choke, all this more sort of joke thing that he likes to say. So,
we might have to
uh,
censor the channel a little bit,
but
but
that's okay. But I understand how Canadians talk, and it's like
yeah.
single word sentences. It makes a lot of sense. So, that's a VGA 90 just chilling on day two,
Yeah.
and doesn't matter what version it is. It's a sick mint copy of a nostalgic video game system. I argue like I think the most collectible handheld of all time is that launch era
Game
OG game in that style of box. That is hands down my favorite. Like
Yeah.
I have a US version, probably the same era print, not a first print, but I absolutely love it. That thing needs to go to the fucking moon. So
Now we have The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages. This is sitting at 718.75 with BP. Oh, sorry, that's the next bid. It's sitting at 693.75. It's an 85 plus VGA Game Boy Color.
yeah, and if you don't know, this is a foil cover version. Not to be mistaken with the foil side seam of the Game Boy Color, but the foil is spot foil printed on the front where it says Zelda, the title of the game. Um, Underneath it, that background is spot foil printed. Well, it's printed and then there's spot foil applied to that area of the game box, and it's a double-ended box. People are like, are these first? Are they second? Most people are like, oh, it's first print because it's foil. We'll leave that up for another conversation. But what is known is that they are super hard to get in high grade condition because the boxes are a little flimsier than the standard folded type boxes that you see. So this is a double end box like the early Pokemon games that people also call first print, even though I think they're full of shit. So super hard in high grade condition. 85 plus is a stellar grade. This thing is nice. If you were going to cross it, it would cross well. So
Right.
also, Oracle of Ages and Seasons, great games to play.
I do believe this was one of Dan's favorite games.
Yeah, you say that Dan was like a Super Nintendo head, but honestly, this kid was a Nintendo 64 kid. And I
He
don't know
was
why I
younger.
feel bad for him because it was a shit system, but I get it. So,
He was
uh,
younger than us. So yeah, 85 plus 1080.
no, I think Dan was my age, so not much. He was younger than you, Matt, but
Yeah.
1080. Okay, 1080 is a fair game, right? Like it's no cool borders. Just gonna put that out there because I have to because Cool Borders is better. 1080 on Nintendo 64 is not bad. Also, Nintendo 64 is far more collectible than PlayStation probably ever will be. And this game is super, super hard to get factory sealed. It just is. It's hard to get in a high grade CIB. So if you're like not a sealed collector, that's great. Go find an ICIB. This is going to run you 100 plus in mint condition easily. Factory sealed is on another level. Everybody opened this. Everybody was clamoring for New Nintendo 64 releases. We want a snowboarding game. PlayStation's got one. We want an RPG. We never got one. Um, we want anything new on the Nintendo 64 because we got 4 players at the same time. Let's all play. Nintendo's just let us down over and over again. But 1080, first party licensed game, really hard to get. Factory sealed, 85 plus, VGA Gold.
Six
Go get it. This thing is hot.
$625 right now with BP.
Yeah, I venture to say this thing's gonna go. I don't know what results have gone in the past. Maybe we can see the Wada population report on this one because I do think that this is extremely hard to get factory sealed, kind of like a Wave Race 64 is. Even though Wave Race 64 was a launch title game, this came out a couple years later. So yeah, only 21. Look at that on Wada's Pop. So, and you see there's a couple variants.
There's
This
only
is,
there's only 196 and 198. That's it.
yeah, this is an 85 plus. This would cross, genuinely, it would cross well to WADA or CGC. But if you're a VGA guy, this is your game. Go get it. It's your jam. I guarantee you this was a personal copy.
Yeah.
Same with this.
Star Fox 64 with the Rumble Pack. Obviously, it's VGA graded because no other graders can. How is that right now? 85 plus. Man, with buyer's premium right now, 225.
Yeah, this is a couple
Dirt,
thousand dollar game for sure.
dirt cheap.
Yeah, and to speak on Star Fox 64, it's better than the Super Nintendo version, and that's not saying much, but it is a decent game. And maybe it's just not my style. However, if you're getting into the video game collecting realm of this thing, it was when the Rumble Pack was released for the Nintendo 64, you could buy the Rumble Pack with the game. You got the game, so it was the big promotion. They re-released this game as a player's choice, but side note, they also released it in a standard box like this, but slimmer without a Rumble Pack, not a player's choice, but applied a player's choice sticker to it.
Hmm.
So there are standard releases. I don't know where they come from. I've seen them in a couple collections. They're extremely rare and they have the player choice sticker on them. So, 3 prints on Star Fox 64. This is a first print for all you knuckleheads who like that garbage.
I,
It's
I
perfect.
was I was wrong on the price earlier. Sorry. With buyer's premium is 262.50 now.
Hmm.
Go get it. Go outbid me. I dare you.
Yeah. And it's in a big, sexy box. And
Ooh.
we talked about Kirby's Dream Land 3 last time, Matt.
Yeah, here's some heat right here. 90
It's
plus Kirby's
moving.
Dream Land VGA. It's sitting at with buyer's premium 2,875. So it's getting up there. Um,
Yeah, this thing is
Rare.
pretty. Why did Eric just text us here?
So you need to be on the show.
Yeah, he's a clown. God. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna invite Eric back.
What? What?
This whole Halo 4 thing, man, I'm so sick of hearing about that game and how good it is from him. Joker. Um, Kirby's
Hey,
Dream Land
hey,
3.
I didn't even have to say Halo this time. You did it for
I
me.
know, man. I wanted to get it out of the way early because I
Dan
hate.
Kaplan appreciates you for that.
Yeah, I know he does. Hey, props to Caps, right? He sent us the Halo Legendary helmet.
He did?
Remember that? You opened the Halo Legendary?
Oh, that's right. That's right. When we opened it up. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back to that episode. In fact, I'll make a mini episode out of that.
Yeah, let's make a mini on that son of a gun.
I
Uh,
forgot that that was his, and then we kept that. Didn't we keep the helmet? What do you have us do with that?
we did a giveaway on it.
Now we did an auction. That's right. We auctioned it off on
Did we
NintendoAge.net.
on Nintendo?
We auctioned it on NintendoAge.net. One of the listeners here bought it for $150. Uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. Holy cow.
He was
What,
deep in Halo, unfortunately.
what a
God,
guy. What a guy.
good guy.
So here's his Kirby's Dream Land 3. Obviously, rare, hard to get sealed, and in that grade, that's nuts.
Yep. Dreamland 3 is amazing.
Uh,
Did we see how many Wada has done? I guess we could go see the VGA pop report, but I don't want to break the internet. So we're going to look at Wada's here. We're on Nintendo 64 mat, which is a garbage system. So let's go to a real system like the Super Nintendo.
I'm always looking for SNES. Oops. Let's try and spell Kirby right. There are 9 Kirby's Dream Land 3 graded.
And they're all trash. So go get the right one. That's the VGA 90 plus.
994A plus is the highest grade known, and there's only
And let's
one
be
9
real. Let's be
one.
real. I'm a big advocate for
Wow.
WATA or CGC and alternate grading outside of VGA, but this is a nicer copy.
Yeah,
It is.
this I've
Mm,
crossed a lot of 90s. This is definitely going to land you most likely in the 9.6 and up.
yeah,
9.6,
and it's
9.6
going to
to
be A
9.8.
plus plus. Like once you hit in that 90 range on VGA, you're getting A plus pluses and you're getting markdowns for small minor defects on the box. That's just been my experience, but I I have a couple 90s, 90 and above Super Nintendo games I'm just not going to cross. So I value them more in the other grade. So
Yeah.
that's what they are.
Dan's got a lot of games here. Just letting you know.
That's good. Keep watching.
He's got about,
If you got to this point and you start bitching out, don't do it.
don't do it. This is a big one. Pocky and Rocky, Super Nintendo. Right now with buyer's premium, it's 1,031.25, 96A. Let's take a quick look at good old Pocky. There's only 4 graded. All
Yeah,
right.
man. I think people are underestimating the Pocky and Rocky 1
Wow.
versus Pocky and Rocky 2 always getting the love. If you look at CIBs, Pocky and Rocky 2 always sells for more than Pocky and Rocky 1. But when you come to the factory sealed side of things, you know, go with the original. Pocky and
This,
Rocky 2 is great, don't get me wrong. This thing's a bitch to find sealed.
yeah,
Like most Natsumi games are, it's very, very hard to get. When was this graded, Matt? Oh, we can't tell because it's on a new WATA label that doesn't
yeah.
put the
I think this
fucking
was
grade
recent
date.
because the water report isn't showing it. So this is going to be the third highest graded Pocky and Rocky.
No, wait, go back. Is it not showing a 96A?
Yeah, it's not. It's got the A plus and the A plus plus.
Okay. Well, regardless, I it's probably
It's
just
third
a
highest.
sealed grade.
Yep.
96A, man, I would crack this shit and I would grade it somewhere else. And I like WATA. I do, but I just think that it's probably nicer than an A.
I can't see it.
Knowing Dan's games from on a personal level, knowing when he graded certain things and the era of grading on some of his WATA items,
This was
I would personally crack and regrade, even possibly with WATA, if that's your flavor, or with a competitor.
this
I
is really recent because it's got the new inner holder too, with the
Yeah, but that's not to
bubble.
say that it wasn't reholdered, Matt. So,
Oh, good point. I didn't think about that.
um, yeah, WATA
Yep.
did fix their holder. You don't get the shifty shit in it. You don't get the corners pushing in. The only reason you got to bitch about WATA right now is they don't get back to people on customer service, and that's fine because let's
Because
face it, nobody in this fucking world wants to actually get off their ass and get a job. Sound like an old man, but that's the truth.
true.
Yeah. Uh, So if you're sitting there making money off of video games every week and nobody gets back to you in an email because you're pissed off at the world, go buy another fucking video game. I'm sorry. I don't know. We'll go back on positivity here. Super
Wow.
Bomberman.
Yeah, Super Bomberman. Did you
Yeah.
see my screen already?
hmm
Oh. So Super Bomberman 8.5A for the Super Nintendo right now with buyer's premium. It's sitting at $250. There are two of these on Watto's Pop Reports, and this is the highest at the 8.5, just so you know.
So scroll around to the other photo of that son of a gun, Matt. See how there's no H seam on this Puta?
Yeah.
Um, this game was packaged with a multi-tap, right? So you're gonna get the game sealed in the box with the multi-tap, but this is what you get.
250 bucks. You have some inexpensive option. Well, I don't know if
Yeah.
that's considered inexpensive, but inexpensive options if you want to throw some money at the family.
Go get this game. Really tough to find sealed because it came with that bigger box, which I don't actually think came sealed and nobody has graded. So if you're a Super Nintendo set head, this is tough. Brand new. Real tough. So, uh, fun fact, there's also a display box for this that was for rental purposes. So when you got the game, you could set up your rental box and set it out there, rent out all your ish and all that fun shit. So, because yeah, I don't think this was ever sold as a standalone version without the multi-tap.
I didn't know that.
Hmm. I mean, it could have been. We talked about Wayne Gretzky 3D hockey before, appropriately in a Canadians collection. Now it's moving on to home. This game is fantastic on the Nintendo 64. I don't give much praise to the console, but this game is very good. And
Nine
it's
point
yeah,
9.6 A plus with buyer's premium right now, $109.
that's a deal. I'm gonna
Even
buy that.
more affordable option to show you
This
love.
is this is the second wave after the Nintendo 64 launch because Nintendo 64 launched with two games, Mario 64, Pilot Wings, right? Is that it?
I no, I it didn't launch with Mario 64. It launched with Pilot Wings and F-Zero, right? I don't think Mario
You're
was
thinking
Mario.
of Super Nintendo, Matt.
64. Sorry.
It's
You're
okay.
correct,
It's
sir.
okay
You're
to
correct.
mix up 5 year generation gap.
Yeah. I skipped the early parts of
Yeah.
N64.
Okay, Nintendo 64 was launched with Mario 64 and Pilot Wings, and who cares because they launched with a great game. A couple months later, you get Wayne Gretzky's hockey, you get which is this game, and you get Killer Instinct Gold, which is also fucking rad, and a couple other things. What else came out? War Gods, Mace, some other bullshit. But those early Nintendo 64 games are really, really hard to find factory sealed. And this is one of them. And this is a really, really good video game. So
Awesome. I know nothing about Zero because I never played it. I don't remember having this as at the rental store, to be honest. It's 9.0A
no, Matt, they did
Nintendo,
not have this in their collection.
and it is with buyer's premium at 781.25. Is this so? Is
This is very rare on Super
okay?
Nintendo.
That would be
Uh,
why they wouldn't have had it then.
yeah, it's I don't know where it sits on the Wada Pop, but I don't know even know where CIB copies are selling for these days. But maybe you can bring up the Wada population on that, Matt.
Zero, there are two graded, and they're both 9.0s. They're both 9.0As.
So possibly one of these.
So there you go.
Yeah,
This is the highest.
it's always been a tough game to get. It's tough on Genesis as well. But Zero Kamikaze, let me just look on eBay. I have not seen what these go for these days, but they are not common
For CIB?
CIB. Like a cartridge is worth is buy it now $300.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it's just a rare Super Nintendo game. Fun platformer.
So this is well underpriced right now at 781.25.
Absolutely. I'd say game probably is going to push 800 $1,000 CIB. Let's see what they sell for. $202 for a cartridge, open auction. Um,
Any CIBs?
it's like a CIB sold in good condition for 700, where the best offer was accepted, where somebody had 0% feedback. Another CIB or a cart and box sold for 425. No CIB sales on this recently.
Wow.
There's one other 9.0 on eBay listed at 6 grand, and the CIBs, where do they start? Um, looks like a decent one. The lowest price CIB is at 675. The next closest is 949,
Wow. So
and uncommon game. So
this is sitting at a deal right now if you need that and you're
that's where
near
you
Mega
say
Force.
this is the instance where you say this game is an uncommon Super Nintendo game. But when you look at it in factory seal condition, this is a rare Super Nintendo game. This is the definition of rare for Super Nintendo in the condition state that it sits. So
Yeah. And it is currently the highest on the Water Pop report.
yeah, you don't find kamikazes like this. They're usually dive bombing into some bullshit. So
All right. Space Megaforce 9.2 A plus, another Super Nintendo with buyer's premium 656.25.
yeah, and we're gonna look up this one as well, Matt, because Space
Sweet.
Megaforce is a rare video game. Again, is this day two?
One
This is bullshit.
graded.
This is bullshit for day two because this game is Toho games, just in general, impossible. A really good shooter.
This is the
I,
only graded copy on the WADA Pop Report.
dude, I think this thing's also $1,000 CIB. Never comes up for sale. Well, I mean, I'm gonna
You'd
say
have
uncommon.
you'd have to look that up. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, we're gonna look that up right now. So we're gonna talk through it because it's also fantastic. And
Never played it.
yeah, a good shooter. So if you're one of those kids that like shooters and you're not a
Did it
loser,
did it
then it would be the game for you.
did it just not sell, or was it not available, or was it a
No,
late
it's
release?
like Super Godzilla, just rare, right? Toho Games. Toho is the company and that owns the rights to Godzilla. So in Super Famicom land, yeah, buy it now is starting around $1,000 or 1399 for a CIB, $2,000 for a CIB, 1295 for a CIB.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a cool thing.
So this thing should be pushing a couple grand.
Yeah, there's another $1,000 CIB. Average condition CIB is around $800. These are listings on eBay. Let's look at some sold things. The CIB, a nice copy, sold for $810 for
That
Space Mega.
that's more than this sealed copy in the highest grade is selling for right now on.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome actually. So, okay,
All right.
your Space
Uh,
Mega first. I'll
we
go.
got,
I'm gonna go buy this thing. Jesus Christ.
and now we're getting into the real heat here. Like I said before, when I saw that Dan was listing this game, I knew something was wrong. Chrono Trigger 9.2A. Do we need to talk about Chrono Trigger right now
Uh,
with
we don't. I don't feel like we need to pump this one, but it is deservedly a pumper because it is one of the best Super Nintendo games, one of the best video games ever made. If you've never played Chrono Trigger, you should probably stop watching our podcast and go play Chrono Trigger. That's just the bottom line. I
uh,
There's only 28 of these that Wada has done.
it's sitting at 8,437.50 right now with buyer's premium. Yes, 28
Hmm.
copies graded. Obviously, wow, there's two at 98A plus plus. That is insanity. Uh,
Jeez. Yeah, just
this is 92A, so you're sitting with a 92A. You've got 10 in front of you. Actually, you've got 13 in front of you. So this is like 14th highest graded. But it's Chrono Trigger. It's sealed. It's
doesn't
it's
matter.
it's a
Yeah.
9.0 A or above. That's that's the recipe for success right there.
Yeah, and if you're like too cheap to buy a Super Nintendo cartridge of this, you can always play Chrono Trigger on Final Fantasy Chronicles for the PlayStation. So, like I said, if you have not played this game, just go get Final Fantasy Chronicles. I guess it's just not the same, but you can play Chrono Trigger on there.
Oh, what a monster of a game right there.
It really is.
All right. And then we have, again, we did touch this a week or so ago, but we have the Nintendo 64 Millennium 2000. Let's not call it a controller, it's an award. Josh, you want to get into, and it's sitting right now with buyer's premium at 5,125
Let's not
for,
even call it a metal controller stand because that's bullshit also.
no.
These were Nintendo Power trophies, and we kind of touched on that last week. Like, hey, Heritage didn't do the best job on the write up here. Um, Dan, I remember he originally bought this off of Golden when it came up for sale because he is a Nintendo 64 kid, unfortunately, and he needed the Millennium controller. And he's like, well, I'll just get a trophy while I'm at it. I have no idea if the letter of provenance ever showed up at Golden or if it was ever sent to Sir Kaplan at that point.
Hmm, good point.
But the listing on Golden originally states that it would be the letter of provenance would be sent to the winning bidder and that it was from a former Nintendo employee. This is the same fucking item. So let's draw a trajectory here. Let's not confuse things with what they aren't. It was a trophy for Nintendo Power. Sources say, when I say sources, we're talking about Reddit. Somebody on Reddit said that the the trophy that the controller is sitting in, they made 12 of, and that they were one of 12 that were given out at the Nintendo Power Awards when Majora's Mask won all of the awards in the year 2000. So
Ah, got it. Okay. Wow.
12 of these statues,
That's
they're
crazy.
baller as fuck that every Nintendo collector should want. I
Wow.
I I'm I know Heritage has a lot of items. They needed to do their due diligence and write this item properly.
You could just copy. I mean, this gives a pretty good breakdown. This is obviously
But
when Dan won it. This
fuck that. Golden didn't do a very good job either.
oh, okay.
I in 5 minutes of Googling, I figured out more about this shit than both Golden and Heritage did. Okay. Do a little digging. I'll leave it at that. This is a neat item. There were 1,000 Millennium controllers, which you get, that were made by Nintendo, which that controller is. The trophy is awesome.
Yeah. And
That's it.
at least people are noticing it because it's selling for more than what Dan bought it for. Dan bought it for 3 grand in 2000
21,
February of
22.
22. So we were at the right at the tail endish of the peak of all sales. And so this
Yeah,
is
let's be real. Golden also buried this item in one of their auctions and didn't do a good job for that consigner.
oh,
I
okay.
think
Okay.
Dan got a good deal on it. Millennium controllers don't come up for sale very often. They're $1,000 plus, maybe more today. Maybe they're like 2 grand. Just the controller itself is worth a lot of money.
Yeah,
So,
you throw the award in there in the mix and you're talking 10.
what a cool display piece.
Yeah.
I kind of want that.
Mhm. It's there forbidden. Yeah, go for it, man.
Okay. So those are all of Capadonna's items.
Capadonna.
Yeah.
Um, we let's go ahead and do comments. That's fine.
Okay.
I didn't think we would, but let's do it. There's not that many anyway, so let me pull it up and let's share this.
That's what she says.
Cap would want us to do it.
Yeah. Well,
And then we have a little special ending after that.
it's not a happy ending like Matt's used to.
Oh,
Hey,
all
we got
right.
14 comments. Oh my God.
What's that?
I can't believe we got 14 comments.
This was a little bit of a dead video for us, but we were talking about boring crap, Vethix, Terapeak, nothing too special. People like to see guests on our show.
So
So
if you want to be a guest, we're happy to have you.
we've got a guest lined up for tomorrow, which won't release for a while, but yeah. So we're excited about that. That'll be cool.
Okay.
All right. Red Workshop. Go to team in Tecmo Super Bowl. Oh, go to team in Tecmo Super Bowl. I'm personally torn between Bears and Chiefs. Yeah, yeah. The hell with T Swift, that other guy. It's all about the Nigerian nightmare, Christian Okoye.
Nigerian Nightmare.
Tecmo Super Bowl. I forget the dominant. We're
Bo Jackson,
49ers
that's it. Oh, Tecmo Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Wasn't the 49ers a dominant?
49ers, you got Jerry Rice, right? And Steve, or not Steve Young. It'd be Elway. Not Elway. It'd be Montana. Montana and Jerry.
It was
Or no,
well,
it'd be the Cowboys with Irving and
wasn't it
Emmitt
just
Smith, right?
switching to Young at that point?
No, this is 92, man.
Steve Young. I don't know. I thought
Steve Young came in
Niners.
93. Niners or Cowboys. We always played Cowboys because Emmitt Smith. Like we just love that shit as kids, even if it was a year or two older or whatever. But I remember throwing bombs to Irving. That's it. Aikman to Irving.
Over and over.
Yep.
Oh, all right. You're up.
Oh, B Dog down there in Seatown. Well, is it Seatown? Colorado somewhere. Says
B
cards and
Dog's
cardboard.
in Seatown. I
B Dog.
like that.
Either of you planning to visit the Nintendo Museum in Kyoto, Japan, opening later this year? They just previewed it in their latest Nintendo Direct on August 19th. I would love to go to Japan, but I have no plans on going there anytime soon.
Is that the one Eric was showing us that had the display that doesn't
Yeah,
even
it has the
all their
display, and then people are like, those are gonna sun fade, and people just realize that they're shit talking Nintendo. And Nintendo's just gonna be like, oh well, we'll just get another one out of the closet. So
yeah,
no
but they
big.
didn't even have half their games in that display. Like they
Yeah,
didn't.
they even got the wrong variants up in that bitch. So
They had yeah they
oh,
had a right Bros, not a left Bros. I
well,
don't think
what Nintendo needs to do, well, that's because they needed it to be right, bro. They fixed that's the fix. The earlier variant isn't what they wanted. So um does Nintendo have like an internal historian? I'm sure they do.
When I took the tour up in
Hmm.
Redmond, when it was still in Redmond, Washington, I
Yeah.
think they moved down the street or something, or just one city over. But when I took the tour of everything, I would say I knew more than most of the people in there. Obviously, there's probably somebody in the back corner that might, but they really had no clue.
Yeah, man. Well, maybe they're hiring Matt. So
Yeah,
that's okay. They just got some PR shit in
it's
there.
good
Oh,
board. Good job for you. Josh's
yeah.
mom. Hey, speak of the devil. Uh,
Oh, yeah. You know what? I was just with my mother on the beach all weekend. Went to the beach, had a good time.
were you in
Just
Napa?
Napa?
Oh, zinger.
The auto parts store?
Why insure the package when you can raw dog?
Oh Jesus. Yeah, raw dog that shit all the way. We went a
Raw,
17-hour flight up and down. And
raw dog, baby.
hey, HC, you know that that's unhealthy to raw dog on a plane. It's not good for you. You should actually just watch some bullshit and get some advertising in you so you buy some stuff when you get off the plane. You crave some McDonald's, you need a Snickers,
Now
want some Altoids.
wait a minute, Henry here.
Yeah.
Josh's mom, I mean. I think I sent you a package that you didn't want insurance on, and I insured it. Just saying, man. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. All right, Josh, come on.
Remember the famous words of Chris Rock. Insurance is in case shit happens. Not all those other times that people paid insurance and they didn't get their items. You don't see them posting on Facebook bitching about shit. I mean, in this case, the guy should have had insurance on the package who shipped it out.
$20,000 game, you're putting effing insurance on that
Okay,
thing.
$20,000 game. I'm hopping on a fucking airplane and I'm gonna fly it to you.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
care if you're a miscreant, neckbeard,
So
introverted, garbage, whatever.
the
I don't
story
care.
the
I'm
story
gonna
doesn't
meet you somewhere and give you the game. If
story
it,
doesn't add up.
well, the story doesn't add up. It does add up. The person didn't pay for insurance. Did you see the latest developments in that, Matt? I don't know if we
No,
talked.
I didn't. What is the latest development?
Yeah, that game showed up.
What?
The game showed up on
Where?
on some video game collecting group. Our baller friend Thomas Bell from Rainier Consignment saw the post, said, "Hey, this game is stolen or whatever." Tagged somebody, got the guy communicating. Apparently, the game was traded in at a video game convention in Austin, Texas, or somewhere around those area, and the person who got it traded in, I won't do the quotes, but traded in, said, "Yeah, I traded $4,000 worth of inventory cash for this item. What do we need to do? Oh, let's figure this out." And the original owner was like, "Oh, we're figuring it out." You know what figuring that shit out is? Angel, the guy who has it, send the fucking dude who rightfully owns the game, his game, go figure out who you traded the item with and lost your money on and get your money back because you're handling a stolen item at that point.
Yeah, you
That's
are
the fucking rules.
you are going to get prosecuted otherwise.
Well, regardless if you're gonna get prosecuted, you're gonna just gonna be a piece of shit. You're up 4 fucking grand. That's the cost of doing business. I'm sorry. Don't take trades on shady fucking items.
Hmm.
This VGA 95 rolls in. Oh yeah, I did about 4 grand in this, bro. Really?
So
When
so we
deals
don't
are too good to be true, they usually
so
are.
we don't know who turned the game in. It could have been. So are you saying it's possible that it got stolen literally out of the shipping department and then
Yes, that's what
wow.
happened. The game originally originated from Texas.
Okay, so he
The game showed up at a convention in Texas for trading. The dude who has it, I don't know where they're at right now, so I'm not going to talk shit. But the person who has the item needs to give it to the rightful owner.
wow.
Or better yet, the person who orchestrated the trade and the transaction who lives in Texas needs
Needs
to
to
go
go
to the
get it.
person's house, get the fucking item.
Yeah.
That's what needs to
And
happen.
then reship it with insurance.
No, just make sure the person gets it.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't even need to ship it. You need to fly it. You need to put your big boy pants on or girl pants, whatever pants you're wearing, and go. Take that shit. Don't be a person who doesn't take that shit. Do that. Take that shit.
You're up.
All right. Mr. Marty, the one man party pants says, "Great video, guys. Is Dan in charge of the Wada Pop report?" That's Wada, all capitalization. "I think it would be cool to add subgrades on CIB Pop report, kind of like the seal grades, capital S, on sealed grades games. I think that would be cool. Um, we will ask Dan the next time we talk with him about that, Mr. Marty. We'll bring this comment full circle,
Okay.
actually. Yeah, let's do that. We will revisit this one.
Joseph Leo. There he is, man.
J-Lo.
Uh
You got
30
the J-Lo in the house, man.
30-20.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that he's got. He's still Joe Leo from the block.
We need a collector's estate group, not just for video games, but for literally all collectibles. So many spouses, children, and grandkids practically just give away their collections when we can all just have a will and a appraisers group that lets them know what their stuff is worth. I agree.
That's not a bad idea, Joe. I nominate you to spearhead this. So
Yeah. Or I should say we agree. I apologize there, Josh.
No, that's okay. You are you. I never comment as video game collectors. Matt is a video game collector's brand, but we are all collectively video game collectors and not bitches. So,
What, Timmy? What is Gamer Stonks? Never heard of it.
you fucking kidding me, Tim? This guy is trash. That's right, Matt. We go back to the IT department.
I don't even like saying it was trash because it was so not trash.
No, don't say trash. It's the asshole. It was a great resource. Gamerstonks was a great resource if you wanted to look up a quick price history on an item. If you were going to buy something, you could do that with Gamerstonks with ease. But it ceased to exist. C'est la vie. It was like rainbows and butterflies. It's all
How is
fun
that?
games until the winter. I'm out of my drinks, Matt.
That not appropriate?
Belly. Okay.
All right, you're up.
Jimmy all. Jim Kramer hyphen PX lowercase PX 2 BE. Another great video, boys.
All right.
You guys feed off each other well. Thank you so much for your informative takes on the hobby. Please keep the videos coming. Yeah, thanks, Jim. You
Yeah.
like you. Jim Kramer sounds like a name I know. Hmm. Jim, do we know you?
Yeah. Do we know you, Jim?
If not, we
We come
appreciate it.
on. Yeah, we come on the show and we will know you.
Yeah.
Red Workshop again. Love the participation. Oh, and a third time too. You mentioned wins most episodes. What are some of the things you've sold in the past you regret? I sell almost nothing, but early on in my collecting days, I sold a NES game action replay I found for $5. NES game action replay.
Mhm.
I found for
You are.
$5. It was a weird accessory. Oh, I know what it is. And figured
Oh, I
out I
know.
could get more games instead. Now that I'm close to completing my nest set, I have found oddities very interesting and wish I still had it. Once a game is consigned, it's dead to me. It's Brian's comment.
Isn't that a Kaplan comment?
Oh,
That's a Kaplan thing, right?
that's funny.
Yeah, that's what Kaplan would say. Once a game is consigned, it's dead to me.
Dead to me.
Nice, Brian. Um, Mr. Rad Workshop. Since Matt doesn't know, this is a GAR, a game action replay. This is the cool kids cheat device, not the Game Genie. This is a nice complete box copy. We're gonna open it up. I'll show you what this is, Matt. Just got a game action replay sitting here for you to see.
Game action, but not the NES action. You gotta.
No, it's a game. It's for NES. Game action
Okay.
replay.
Oh, I see what you're saying. NES game
Yeah,
action.
there we go.
It's sealed.
No, I mean it probably was at one point. This thing's never been used, but it's like that, right? And you stick one of these things on it, like that, and then you put it in your Nintendo system, and supposedly it cheats your game. So
Uh,
yeah.
we'll show that in a minute when we have it back on big screen, Josh. So
Okay, so
keep
that's a
it there.
game action replay. A GAR. It's by QuickJoy.
Got it.
QuickJoy.
And then of course Brian's comment is beautiful. I'll just read Rad.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah.
You can read the next Rad
Okay.
Workshop.
Rad says, do you guys dabble in collecting anything besides video games? Yes. I also do a bit of 80s and 90s toys, comic books, sports cards, and my childhood favorites. What are your childhood favorites? Hmm. This is what Matt collects.
Yeah, this is me. G.I. Joes, Transformers, Legos,
Vintage Legos or off the store shelf Legos, Matt?
store shelf. So stuff that I would have had as a kid, like Castle Legos, things like that. I just
So
need,
like older Legos,
yeah,
not
I
like
need
brand new.
vintage. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Vintage Legos.
correct.
That's what.
Vintage. Not new stuff. I don't do the new stuff unless it's cool for some reason. But
Yeah.
yeah, just stuff that reminds me of childhood. I just need more room to put it all because my house is plugged.
Hmm.
What
Yeah, I
about you?
collect whatever I think is cool. More specifically, I everything. That's it.
Uh, you're up, Josh.
Okay. The Cards and Cardboard says the Matt Super Mario Brothers SMB is actually a double Matt SMB. Only the second one I'm aware of. Double Matt, double the fun. So, and Marty says that I think it sold cheap too. Double your Matt Moreau's.
Doesn't really come out. I was gonna double your refreshment.
Do you remember that ad?
Yeah,
Double mint gum.
yeah. No single gum freshens your mouth like double fresh, double mint gum.
Double gum.
And
Yep.
then, of course, Blockbuster late fees first. He was within milliseconds of me posting the video. The guy has a cheat code. He's
Yeah.
he's Game Genie or
He just sits on, he's on watching videos on YouTube when we post our
yeah.
shit, Matt.
All right, now let's see what that game
Game action replay. All
and
right.
I'll show it so
You
we can
couldn't see
see.
on there? Okay. So,
It was small
box.
box.
Here's the box, right? Rad Workshop. I don't know if you had a box with yours or not, but $5 sounds pretty cheap. Where the hell did I set? Oh, here's what it looks like. It's like an NES cartridge, right?
Mhm. How are you
Like a
supposed how are you supposed to fit that in the toaster?
That's what she said. Um,
Like, how does that whole thing fit in? Also, what she
it
said.
it's sliced on the back. It fits in, Matt.
Really?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I want you to pull a toaster out and show me.
Hold on, let me go find one.
Do you have one laying around?
Do I have a Nintendo laying around? Hold on a second.
This will be fun. And as always, we do appreciate your thoughts, comments. We love reading them. We love participation. And also, always be sure to let us know what you like to see the most. Uh, well, there you go. Oh, and it's custom painted one too.
Oh, it's the
Oh, the
Nintendo
Nintendo
Age
edition.
one. Oh
Yeah, of course.
man, how fitting.
Does it? So this is a new episode. Does it fit?
Does it fit?
I wish I had a nice intro song or something of
Oh
that.
no, you have to take the top off of the system. That's right.
It's for real.
Real. Yep.
What kind of what ki- what kind of Jigbee aftermarket
And a
garbage?
Jiggly aftermarket is this.
What
Well, let's read the operating instructions so we're not a
you're
bunch of
promoting children to open electronics and
devices. Yes.
potentially die
Okay,
with
you
that
need to
game.
remove the small metal bar directly inside the Nintendo deck. Simply grab the bar on both sides and tug firmly. This might take a few tries.
I
Huh.
don't. I,
Once you remove the bar, insert the game action replay into the deck at a 45-degree angle and push down into place. Oh,
Dan Kaplan is Canadian, and I can hear him disagreeing loudly.
let's see here. You need to remove the bar.
Forcefully.
Thank God there's a manual with this thing. Yeah, it doesn't fit. This doesn't fit. You
There
need
ain't
to take
no
the lid off this son of a bitch. Otherwise, it's not working. Um, yeah, that's what you do. You take the lid off and then it works in
What
the system.
kind of cheap garbage?
Amazing. Oh man. Remove the small metal bar. Simply grab the ball on both sides and tug firmly.
Get out of here.
Look at these instructions. Look at this
Get
malarkey.
out of here.
Look at that. Some grade A bullshit right there, Quick Joy.
Um,
Did they not know how 72 pin systems were made in Hong Kong? I think they did, actually. Bastards.
what do you got for wins, Josh? Let's do
Um,
wins and we'll wrap up with the.
okay. Yeah, let's wrap this up. That's what she said. Um, okay.
Oh, I got here. I'll share these two wins.
Okay, let's see him, Matt.
I got back. I got upgraded, which is super cool. This was my first Super Nintendo system. Had did I show these last time?
Super Nintendo system.
Sorry, my first N64 was Pod Racer. Did I show these last time?
Nope, didn't see these.
Okay.
Unless I wasn't paying attention, which could be.
Anyway, I way upgraded my old one, which I have on eBay right now. I just have it open auction wherever it goes. We'll just see, whatever.
Matt's
Um,
YOLO in that Star Wars.
what's that?
You're YOLO in that shit.
Yeah.
You only
So
live once.
super excited for that because this is, you know, I got the system in this game and I got 007. Wish I had one of those. I do not. That sucks. It was just one of those things I didn't think about when I started collecting.
Hmm.
Whatever. And then I'm super stoked, and I have to thank Eric for linking this within our little private chat group because I insta bought this when I saw it listed. I had a 7.5 and I upgraded to 9.0A. I was a huge Agassi fan. I had aspirations of wanting to be a pro tennis player when I was younger, and
Yep,
I loved watching Agassi. And
I can see it. But then you just turned into a bitch. So
yeah, I just didn't go down that path.
he was a better golfer, folks.
No, not true. I was a way better tennis player.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that about you, Matt.
Yeah, we didn't have a tennis team. Nobody around here really played tennis. I had no tournaments. We're all in Portland. So I guess I just use that as an excuse to stop playing.
That sucks.
Yep, it does suck. I wish
What
I
could have?
didn't.
Hmm. Yeah, I wish I would have played basketball too. So don't live with regrets, folks.
Nope.
I got a couple things that are kind of neat. Picked up this. It's not sealed, but it is a Microsoft company store without an employee sticker, but it's made the rounds. It was originally at Value Village for $2.99 at some point, and then it made it to St. Vincent de Paul, and I got it for $3.99. But it is a cool sticker version of
Amped.
a launch game, and it's got the original insert with it. It's really a nice copy. Looks like it
You
was played twice.
you know what's funny about you showing that
What,
is that I have this on my Wins desk too. But
bro?
this is a three-sided.
Canadian?
Uh, I honestly wanted to open it on our podcast to find out because it's three-sided. It's got all the vent holes and everything.
Hmm.
Um,
I can't say I've seen that three-sided.
no, I haven't either. In fact, let's save this for when Dan comes on and
Yeah, yeah.
maybe we'll just open
Gomez,
it then.
Dan Gomez is going to come on our show.
Sorry to steal your thunder there, Josh. I just
Yeah.
thought it was funny that you're showing
No,
that. I'm just
that's
like,
funny. That is funny. I picked up another really cool item from our friend Chris Larson. This is a Space Harrier 2, a launch Sega Genesis game. This mirrored thing's got me all screwed up now, man. I'm used to going like that and it turning the other way. So uh, he left his price sticker on there. Originally $15,342, now $200. I think that's a nice little tidbit from our friend,
that's
Mr.
hilarious.
Larson. Love the dude. Shout out.
Another one we need to have back on back
Yeah,
on.
we do. We need to talk about creating this magazine. Also a nice link up here to from our buddy Eric. I don't know why he didn't buy this, but it was a $200 bin on a Paperboy 64. It's crispy as hell. Thanks, Eric.
Wow.
Appreciate you, man. And here's a total stupid impulse buy of Skittles Racing Team, Daytona, USA. Really interesting item here. I have to look up the number complete production on this, but it was a mail away giveaway from a comic book ad that I found. And so I'm like, I wonder if those are on eBay. So I went and looked on eBay. There was a couple of these on eBay, so I bought a sealed one. Skittles Racing Team Daytona USA for the personal computer, factory sealed. Supposedly they made 10,000 of these. I think that's the number. Maybe it was 100,000, and they were giveaway only. So I'd have to look. My phone's not right here. So those are my wins. I have other items, but we'll share in a couple days with you guys.
Okay.
That's all I got, Matt.
Well,
And yeah,
now is our um
we would say
no
what Dan Kaplan be here.
no now is our yeah, I'm not
We're
gonna
not
pull
going to do
any
that.
we're not gonna do any because this week. But we do have a dedication. This is posted on his timeline on his Facebook, but I'm going to go ahead and share here. I couldn't download the video. I would just attach it to this video, but I also don't want to infringe on any copyrights. So we're going to play in honor of Dan, we're going to play what his wife posted on his Facebook to let us all know in the gaming community about what happened and when it happened. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, play it out. Hopefully you guys can hear this. Josh, let me know that you can. Uh, let me get rid of some of this stuff here. I apologize. Can you hear the music? All right. There you go.
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. A regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He says, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La 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 li li la, la la li li la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody.
I guess that's it.
That's it.
Dan, you will you'll always be loved, and greatly missed, and the community is definitely pouring their hearts out to you. I've seen a lot of positive posts, Instagram, Facebook, a lot of people uh, sharing great memories. And you've left us with a lot on your own, and we appreciate you and we love you. Uh, we pray for your family, that they're well, and that they can be comforted. And we will see you again someday. And you will not be forgotten on this channel ever.
No.
And we will continue to make fun of you. And we have some special things also still coming up in honor of you. So we love you. We miss you. And rest in peace, buddy.
Yeah.
That's it. Uh, Thanks again. We appreciate it and we love you all. And take care. We'll see you again.